If you've just installed Capacity Planner for Jira Cloud, this video is a good place to start. Your organization can probably get going right away with the default setup of Capacity Planner, but there are some key things that you need to do or check first. And just a reminder that you need to have Jira administrator permissions to do these next steps. So let's get started. To find Capacity Planner after you've installed it, just expand Apps on the Jira sidebar and click Tempo. If you also have timesheets installed, it might show up first, but just click this icon up here and select Capacity Planner from the list of Tempo apps. So here we are on the Resource Planning view, and this is the Team Planning view. These two views work independently, but you can also use them together. As an administrator, however, the first thing you should do is make sure that everyone who needs access to Capacity Planner has it, and this is done with a global permission. So just go down to the settings here and open the permissions overview. I'm on the global page here, and I'll just click this link, and that takes me to Jira's global permissions. Just a note that you can also get here from the Jira settings menu at the right. Just select System, and then Global Permissions on the sidebar. So when you install Capacity Planner, several of Tempo's own permissions are added to Jira's global permissions, and the one you want here is the Tempo Planner Access permission. By default, all Jira users on your instance are in this Jira Software Users group, so everyone has access to Capacity Planner. If that's what you need for your setup, you're all done here. But if you don't need everyone on your instance to have access to Capacity Planner, or maybe you've changed this user group's membership and have problems with employees getting access, this is the permission to check. So let's grant this permission to another group, and to do that I'll go down to the bottom here. I'll select the Tempo Planner Access permission, and then I select my user group called All Tempo Users, and click Add. And you can see that group is added to this permission. Now I can even remove any other groups that don't need access to Capacity Planner, like the Jira Software Users group that gives everyone access. I'll just click Delete, and then confirm that I want this removed. So now only the people in these groups will have access to Capacity Planner. While you're in the global permissions, you can grant the Tempo Administrator permission for configuring Capacity Planner and other Tempo apps, and grant the Tempo Team Administrator permission for creating Tempo teams, roles, and skills. As a Jira admin, you have both of these permissions by default, but granting them to other people means that you have less work to do. Now let's close that and go back to the settings, and select the planning time options here. So first off, if you want to incorporate a review and approval process for plans, you need to turn on this switch called Enable Plan Approval. This makes it possible to select a reviewer for plans in the plan time form. This is usually so that managers or team leads can verify time off for their team members, but any plan can be reviewed if you like. You can also check this box to be able to set specific times of the day when the plans will take place, which can help users organize their workday. This matters only if you're also using Tempo timesheets, which is where you'll notice these plan times in My Works calendar view. When this is off, the plans all start at midnight of that day. Another handy option to check is the Delete plans when associated issues are deleted, which does as advertised. When Jira work items are deleted, their related plans are also deleted. This definitely helps project managers and team leads keep the planning board clean and up to date. The next thing to do is to set up the syncing options. These let your organization have an automatic two-way sync between Jira work items and plans in Capacity Planner. This is obviously a great thing that will save your teams time and effort when they're planning work. Click Configure here, and you see that you can set the sync options separately for individual plans and team plans. Let's start with the individual plans. Check this box to display a sync plan option in the plan time form that allows users to sync plans if they want to. Click the arrow here, and this is where you specify which Jira fields you're going to use for syncing with the plans. These should match how Jira is set up in your organization. Now, when a new Jira work item is created with all these fields filled out, a plan for the assignee is automatically created. It's also good to check the story points and iteration cycles options as fallbacks to use. This means that if all the fields that you set here don't match or are not filled out in the Jira work items, the plans can still get created automatically and be synced with Jira. Now let's look at the team plans, which are always synced and can't be changed. As with the individual plans, specify which Jira fields you're going to use for syncing with the team plans. The assignee is always set as the Tempo team field and can't be changed because that's the field that Capacity Planner needs for team plans. When all the fields are filled out for a Jira Epic or higher level item, a team plan is automatically displayed for it in the team planning view, which makes visualization of the epics very quick and easy. These steps will get Capacity Planner pretty well set up, but there are other important things you need to do for your organization to use it properly. Create workload and holiday schemes for assigning employee capacity. Create and configure internal issues so that employees can plan time for things like vacation, medical leave, or special company events. Create Tempo teams, roles, and skills to be used for planning on both individual resources and teams. These topics are all covered in other videos in this series, so make sure to check them out. You can find links to each of them in the video description.